Guyana was once among the most impoverished nations in South America, but in just a handful of years, it has transformed into the region's oil-driven superstar. From extracting a modest 15,000 barrels a day in 2019 to over 630,000 barrels by 2024, Guyana's ascent is truly remarkable. However, there's a question that remains unasked. Is this an economic miracle or a looming disaster? Let's explore the Guyanese oil boom and why neighboring Caribbean nations, particularly Jamaica, are paying close attention. Guyana is part of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, a coalition of 20 nations established in 1973 to foster economic integration and cooperation among its members. The pivotal discovery came in 2015, when seismic activity not only originated from the ocean floor, but also reverberated through Guyana's economy. That year, ExxonMobil and its partners uncovered substantial offshore oil reserves in the Stabroek Block, located roughly 120 miles from the coast. What began as cautious optimism quickly evolved into commercial production by late 2019. This was no ordinary oil find, it was a transformative event, one that could rewrite historical narratives. By 2024, Guyana was producing over 630,000 barrels daily, with estimates suggesting it could soar to 1.3 million by 2027. This would position this small Caribbean nation among the globe's top oil producers, standing alongside major players. Economic propulsion. Oil has propelled Guyana into an economic surge. The gross domestic product, GDP, figures are astonishing. 43.5% growth in 2020, 20.1% in 2021, 62.3% in 2022, the highest in the world. In 2023, growth was 38.4%, followed by 34% in 2024. Guyana has transitioned from a sluggish economy to the fastest growing in the world, twice over. And it's not merely about GDP. Export revenues have skyrocketed as well. In 2023 alone, Guyana generated $17.4 billion from exports, with $13.4 billion stemming from crude oil. Oil now constitutes 88% of all exports, a significant shift from its previously diverse trade portfolio. Then there's the Natural Resource Fund, Guyana's sovereign wealth reserve. It currently holds over 758 billion Guyanese dollars, with more than 2.6 billion anticipated in oil revenues this year, approximately 37% of the national budget. If managed wisely, this financial clout could reshape Guyana's future. The investment rush. Where there's oil, investors flock. In Guyana's case, they have arrived in droves. Foreign direct investment, FDI, surged by 60.5% in 2019. By 2023, Guyana had attracted over $7.1 billion in FDI, making it the sixth largest FDI recipient in Latin America and the Caribbean. ExxonMobil alone has invested $30 billion into Guyana's oil sector. Yet this rapid influx of foreign capital raises critical questions. Who truly holds the reins? Is Guyana cultivating long-term autonomy or dependency? The social trade-off. Affluent nation, impoverished populace. With wealth flooding in, one might expect streets of gold. But that's not the reality. Guyana continues to grapple with poverty, inequality, and unemployment, particularly among its youth. In 2021, youth unemployment reached 29.9%. Despite the oil boom, many citizens feel neglected. Warnings of a resource curse abound, a well-documented phenomenon where nations rich in oil and minerals face sluggish growth, governance issues, and social unrest. Guyana appears to be heading toward that peril. Political strife, allegations of corruption, and rising ethnic tensions have raised alarm bells. Many worry that oil wealth may enrich a privileged few while exacerbating disparities for the rest. The deeper inquiry remains: can oil wealth foster social unity, Or will it incite division? The environmental risk. Guyana's oil boom presents a climate dilemma. This is a nation celebrated for its rainforests, rich biodiversity, and ecological splendor. Yet, oil extraction poses significant threats. Oil spills, coastal degradation, marine pollution, and escalating greenhouse gas emissions are serious concerns. The flaring of natural gas alone could release 25 million metric tons of CO2 annually. That's a substantial carbon footprint for a country once regarded as a climate-friendly haven. Environmentalists caution against a weakened regulatory framework. Some contracts reportedly constrain the government's capacity to act against environmental harm in oil operations. Imagine that. A small nation jeopardizing its environment and sovereignty for the sake of big oil. A booming economy, but at what expense? This is where it becomes complex. Yes, Guyana's GDP is rising, but can it effectively translate oil wealth into infrastructure, education, healthcare, and job creation quickly enough? If not, frustration will mount. History has shown us, whether in Nigeria, Venezuela, or Equatorial Guinea, that resource wealth without responsible governance can lead to calamity. While oil may bring riches, it also introduces volatility. A single dip in global oil prices could destabilize the entire budget. Guyana must diversify, investing in education, agriculture, tourism, and manufacturing while it still can. Voices from the ground. Despite the risks, there is genuine optimism among many Guyanese. They believe this is their moment, a chance to elevate the nation into a new era. People anticipate job creation, improved infrastructure, enhanced electricity access, and a sense of national pride. However, hope must be anchored in strategic planning. Will there be sufficient investment in human capital to meet the demands of this new oil economy? Will schools prepare the next generation of engineers, scientists, and entrepreneurs? Or will foreign interests continue to dominate the sector? The answers to these questions will determine whether this boom evolves into a bubble or a breakthrough. Why this matters for Jamaica and the region. So, what implications does all this hold for Jamaica? We observe a neighboring nation skyrocketing in wealth due to oil, while we steadily ascend the economic ladder without the benefit of such a lucrative resource. Jamaica's approach has focused on careful management rather than seeking quick gains. But Guyana's narrative offers important lessons for us. It highlights the significance of governance when wealth suddenly increases. It also warns against an overdependence on a single industry. Moreover, it underscores the necessity of social inclusion in national development. Jamaica has learned the hard way about reducing debt, managing inflation, and creating a resilient economy. Guyana may now have the funds, but it still needs to cultivate discipline. These are two distinct paths to prosperity, but which one leads to enduring success? Guyana stands at a pivotal moment in history. Wealth is flooding in, the headlines are positive, and the future appears bright yet fraught with challenges. Is this the Caribbean's next major success story? Or will the dream be submerged in oil? In the next chapter of this series, we will shift our attention to Jamaica. No oil, no massive boom. Yet, what it possesses is a different kind of strength. The quiet, disciplined kind that often goes unnoticed. We'll examine how Jamaica, through unwavering resilience and reform, is demonstrating that there are multiple ways to build a robust economy. Stay tuned. If you haven't done so already, please like this video and subscribe to our channel today.